The 1994 All Japan GT Championship, the series that would go on to become Super GT, got underway at Fuji Speedway on a typically overcast day. Lining up on the front row was Team Taisan's Porsche 962 alongside the calsonic skyline of Masahiko Kageyama. The lights went green and the Porsche made an absolutely terrible start, swamped by the entire GT1 class. Despite the best efforts of Toshio Suzuki in the ZXL Skyline, it was Kageyama in the blue car that led into the first corner. But further back in the field, it was the Johnson Skyline of Ida and Yamada having a little moment that caught the attention. Up front, the fight was between four Skylines. These R32s were really the first cars built specifically for the JGTC, though they were based on the older Group A cars. The ZXL car did eventually get in front of Kageyama in the number 1 car. But the battle was not over and Kageyama wanted to get the lead back off Suzuki and did so very neatly into the first corner. In the GT2 category, it was a straight fight between the Kageyama Porsche and the rather ironically named European car sales Nissan Skyline. It was a close fight, but on track the Porsche seemed to have a slight edge. One of the characteristics of the championship is mechanical variety, and Team Taisan's self-developed Ferrari F40 was a great example of that. In the end though, it was Kageyama in the calsonic skyline that took the win, and the Korg Porsche also took victory in the GT2 category. The second race of the season was held at the Sendai Highland Raceway, and it was an all-Nissan front row. Kageyama's Hoshino Racing Run calsonic car was again first into the first corner, and again battling with Suzuki in the ZXL car. Soon though, the already legendary Masahiro Hasemi joined the fight in his Unisia Jex Skyline and made very quick work of the ZXL car. Not long after that, Hasemi was on the tail of the blue car, but Kageyama didn't make it easy to pass. Corner after corner, he did everything he could to fend off the veteran. Ultimately, Hasemi only took the lead when the calsonic car headed for the pits. That pit stop handed yet another victory to Hasemi to add to his already impressive tally. In the GT2 category, the Kageyama Porsche with Sakae Obota took victory again. It was back to Fuji Speedway for round 3 of the championship and a 250km race. Taisan had locked out the front row with the Advan-sponsored 962 of Masahiko Kondo and Anthony Reid, setting a pole time 2.5 seconds faster than the same team's F40, which was in second position. But the Porsche once again made a bad start, and the Ferrari led into the first corner, while the Porsche was swamped by the fleet of Nissans. The size difference between the Group C Porsche and the Nissan Skylines was remarkable, but perhaps that small size gave the German machine a slight advantage on Fuji Speedway's long home straight. One by one, the Porsche 962 picked off those Nissans and soon was on the tail of the leading Ferrari driven by Tetsuya Ota and Keiichi Suzuki. It wasn't long before Team Taisan's Porsche got past Team Taisan's Ferrari and took the lead. After that point, nobody really challenged the 962, and Reid and Kondo took victory, their first of the season. Another debut victor in GT2 as the European car sales Nissan got its first win of the year as well. Sportsland Sugo was the venue for the penultimate round of the championship, and once again Team Taisan was on pole, but this time with the F40, as the 962 had not been entered for the race. Alongside it was Jeff Krosnoff in a Toyota Supra. The ZXL Skyline, though, made a stunning start from 5th position and got around the outside of the Ferrari at the first corner to take the lead. The Ferrari, though, was not going to let the Nissan get away, and it was soon back fighting to retake the lead. Behind the front two, the Advan-liveried Porsche of Takahashi Kunimitsu and Kei Tsuchiya battled with Krosnoff's Toyota, the Yokohama-shod Porsche getting the upper hand. Further back, the rest of the Nissan struggled to keep up with the top four. The battle at the front was still all about Suzuki and the Nissan trying to hold off the ever-improving Taisan F40. Eventually, the Ferrari got past, with the Zexel car almost losing second position to the charging Advan Porsche. The German car got past the Skyline a little later, while the Toyota of Krosnov was also looking to take advantage. That effort was to come to nothing, however, as the Supra was hit with mechanical trouble and retired. The Rain-X liveried Lamborghini Countach had struggled for pace all race long, and there was to be more bad news for fans of Italian cars, as the Advan Porsche got past the Ferrari F40 to take the lead. It was clear that the Ferrari was slowing. In fact, the Team Taisan car came to a halt at the side of the track, out of the race. There was no chance of a quiet life for the Porsche though, as soon the Zexel Skyline caught it up and was right on its tail, almost pushing the smaller German machine up the start-finish straight. Despite the smaller Porsche having better brakes, the big Skyline got past into the first corner. Sportsland Sugo has a well-deserved reputation for producing really great on-track battles, and it has done for its entire history. Well, it was just the same in this Porsche versus Nissan battle as well, though in this situation things got a little bit too close, and the Johnson Skyline ended up on the grass. The race for GT2 honours was just as hard fought, with the Korg 911 attempting to hold off both the FK Massimo RX-7 and the IPF Wacos M3. As the RX-7 made a move on the Porsche, the M3 got past the pair of them in one move, but not before making contact with the Mazda, its rotary engine wailing in protest. Up front in GT1, the Advan Porsche was doing all it could to get back in front of Suzuki in the Zexel Nissan, but without great success. It then followed it into the pits for a battle of the mechanics. The Porsche's pit crew was faster, and finally it was back in the lead. By the time the Zexel car rejoined, it had lost a huge amount of time, and the Porsche had built up a commanding advantage. The drama was not over. In GT2, the leading BMW spun out, leaving the battle for the top honours to be fought out between the RX-7 and the rather enthusiastically driven European car sales Nissan, which had worked its way up the field. And there wasn't much to choose between the pair of them, though the RX-7 had the slight edge. The GT2 BMW was not the only rotating piece of German machinery, as the race leader also had a wild lane, the Porsche ending up facing the wrong way on the grass. Such was its lead though, it managed to rejoin ahead of the Zexel Skyline, but things had closed up a lot. Could the Porsche, with all that grass and muck on its tyres, hold off the Nissan? Yes, was the emphatic answer to that question, and the Advan Porsche won the most exciting race of the season so far. The Zexel car never quite got close enough and came home in a solid second position. In GT2, the FK Massimo RX-7 managed to hold on to its lead and take a hard-fought victory. So all that was left to do was for the winning drivers to wave their caps at the crowd and look happy. The final race of the year was held over 300 kilometres at the Mine circuit in Yamaguchi Prefecture. Jeff Krosnov and his Toyota Supra was on pole, alongside one of Team Taisan's two Ferrari F40s, and that Ferrari took a solid lead into the first corner. Taisan's third car, the Porsche 962, was again left at a standstill when the green lights came on. Soon, Taisan's other F40 also got the better of Krosnov's Supra, while the 962 had to deal with the Nissan Skylines before it could get back up to the front of the pack. Krosnov struck back at the Ferrari 1-2, and was back into second position after the driver of the second F40 made an error, while the 962 had finally found some clean air and worked its way up to fourth position. As the race leader encountered the GT2 lead battle, unseen by the TV cameras, the 962 had found a way past the darker coloured F40 and was quickly on the tail of Krosnor's Supra, and made getting past seem rather easy. What followed seemed a little bit like a Team Taisan Star Card exhibition race, with the 962 and F40 duelling rather politely. Team orders perhaps? Whatever was going on in the Taisan camp didn't really matter to Jeff Krosnov, as his Toyota Supra had once again expired and come to a smoky halt by the pit exit. A few blips of the Ferrari's unmodified V8 engine signalled it was the Italian car, and not the German, which would take the GT1 victory, but it was a German win in GT2 for the Wacos M3. The big celebration though came for Masahiko Kageyama, who had won the overall championship, and for the Porsche team, who were GT2 champions. So if you enjoyed this 1994 season review, please hit like and subscribe and leave a comment.